Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments, and this is not what it looks like. This is an unofficial Enter the Gungeon Let's Play video. Anyway, I got done recording part 8 of my 20XX thing and doing a little bit of part 24 and 25 of the letter. And well, the problem we ran into is I decided I was going to do a Let's Play of Prototype. And even though it was still, the buying price of $20, and like I said, I'm not putting this in the Enter the Gungeon playlist, because I'm not really considering this part of the Enter the Gungeon stuff. That being said, I have not played Enter the Gungeon since, well, the last video in the Enter the Gungeon playlist. So this is more so just a bonus. I really wasn't planning on playing any more Enter the Gungeon, ever. And, well, like I said, this is more so going to go in the fails video category. Like I said, this is not, because I haven't played Enter the Gungeon since I recorded, part 42 in my Enter the Gungeon playlist. So that's like a month and a half ago or something. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the date or anything. But yeah, I just got done recording part 8 of 20XX and part 24 and 25 of the letter. That's a visual novel, but it's a horror game. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't planning on ever playing Enter the Gungeon again. I just sort of lost interest in it, and I probably won't play it again ever after this part. So this is just a one-off. And it's just going to go to failure because I know I'm probably not going to get past a couple levels. But this is just, just returning to it briefly. But the biggest issue is this. I recorded, as I've said probably 4 times at this point, those 2 parts of the letter and that part in 20XX. I might as well move this thing down in case I might get to the secret floor. Stop that! Anyway. Oh, come on! Why? Anyway. Anyway, the title of... Really? Okay, that works. Anyway, the title of the video is not going to say Let's Play Enter the Gungeon. In fact, you're going to be a little confused by what the title is. But like I said, this is an unofficial Enter the Gungeon video. It's not really... This is about the game Prototype, which released in 2009 on the Xbox 360. Possibly even PS3, if I remember correctly. Anyway, that game came out in 2009. There was a friend of mine who was really big in Halo. He was like really good at it. And he had that game, and I played it over there with him, along with EDF 2017. Though it was way before 2017. It was like 2009 back then. That being said, I wanted to show off the game Prototype, so much so that even though it was not on sale and the price on there was $20, and I know, it's kind of petty of me to bitch about $20, but at the same time, that's $20. I paid the full $20 price. It wasn't on sale or anything because I wanted to show off Prototype to everyone. I know I'm going to put in the title what I honestly feel about Prototype the game, which is why I was willing to spend that money on it, because I really wanted to show it off to everyone. And that is, I feel that Prototype is what would happen if you took Silent Hill and Assassin's Creed into a Patara fusion. And I'll say this. I played Prototype 2 in the past. It was mediocre. But I'll say this. I very much enjoyed Prototype 1. I thought it was really amazing and a lot of fun. And I was looking forward to playing it. And I was looking forward to actually doing a long Let's Play on it. Even I know I have other stuff I'm supposed to be trying to focus on. Sleep being one of them. But, how do I... Yeah. It's just... Yeah, I mean, the original Prototype 2 wasn't really all that good. You know, they tried to improve some things, the graphics, and change some things. And I spent $20 on it, and I can't play it. And it won't load at all. When I try to launch the game, it won't even load. That's the thing. I try to launch the game, it won't load. So, it means I spent $20 on a game I really wanted to play. I can't play it. So, I even tried uninstalling it and reinstalling it. And I can't even get it to work. I remember being so frustrated with this guy. I think it was part 2. I yelled at him for having a fucking 30-pack. Honestly, out of that whole playlist, even though the first 3 parts probably have the crappiest quality, since I was just literally like, this is like one of the, like, literally, I think this was the first thing I started trying to record. This and Dead Cells. Dead Cells was so fucking awkward to try to get it to work. And really just, I can't say I was really feeling Dead Cells. This game I at least played a little longer. But, this game I played longer, but again, I eventually got to the point that I decided I just didn't want to do much of it. I know I'm wanting to get through my visual novels, though. I need to go to the shop. Because I want to get through The Letter. I want to get through The Letter. I want to get through the games The Letter and the game Will: A Wonderful World and Zonky Zero, all before March 31st when Binding of Isaac Repentance fully launches. But I was also wanting to play Prototype in full. So I know that's 3 visual novels. You know, the visual novel Zonky Zero, which I've only done 1 part of, and the visual novel The Letter, which I've played like 47 hours of right now. Okay, this is not going well. And Will: A Wonderful World, which I've at least made some. I think I'm like halfway through that. Hard to say, but oh, this is terrible. What? What? I don't even understand how I died there, guys. But yeah, like I said, I'm not titling this, and I know I'm getting like a really roundabout way of doing this. I don't know why I returned the breach when I know I'm just going to be running back in there again. But, and of course we're rocking the Doom Marine. But it's just, I can't even get Prototype to launch, so, and it's not like I even bought it on sale. I bought it at full price. Granted, it was more expensive when it first came out, but still, the full listed price for it is $20. I paid the $20. And even though I paid the full asking price for the game, it won't work, and of course I know I can't get a damn refund for it. And there's like mentions about stuff changing in your settings, but that seemed to be a convoluted mess, and it seemed more likely I was going to screw up my computer to where I wouldn't be able to do any more Let's Plays ever again, which that pisses me off, because I actually enjoy making these videos, and the fact that some publisher and developer who chose and saw fit to put Prototype on the Steam page for sale failed to make it accessible in a way that people paying the price of the game would actually be able to play it. So I consider that a huge fucking failure. I would be pissed if I had even bought it on sale 75% off, which is what a lot of the people in the comments were saying. You know, because they had bought it when it was 75% off and spent $5 on it. I paid the full price of $20, and it won't even launch. I am pissed, and I feel fucking cheated and lied to. It's fucking bullshit. Like I said, the game, though, that I can't play, because I haven't played in like 12 years, but I'll say this, I would strongly recommend not getting it on Steam because of that. And of course, there's options for getting something to change your maximum screen resolution size because something's not supported a certain way. But when I try to mess with that, Norton's pretty sure that it's trying to download a virus. Which again, whether it's that or changing the usable cores for my fucking CPU and my graphics card's settings, it seems very likely that it is going to completely fuck up my computer, possibly even brick it. And I'm like, And of course I ran some extra virus scans on my computer just to be safe. And I understand, like, maybe I could be wrong, but it looks like I'm not. So at least everything should be fine with the computer. But I'll say this, I am really enjoying doing these Let's Plays, and it would piss me off that I wouldn't be able to... I don't remember how to pick things up. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the main thing I gotta say is, do not buy Prototype on Steam. Because you can't launch it, it doesn't work, it's a waste of money, it's a huge fucking disappointment, it's a video game's equivalent of fucking blue balls, and then the stuff about trying to change your CPU's core settings, or try to install something to change your screen resolution, and possibly get a fucking virus. You know what? It is not worth it to me to mess with something that is more than likely going to completely fuck up my computer and brick it. This is the only gaming computer I have ever owned in my life. This is actually the best and strongest and most powerful computer I've ever owned in my life. And like I said, this is the only gaming computer I have ever had in my life. And I am greatly enjoying playing with it. And I am greatly enjoying recording these videos and Let's Plays. And in fact, when I first started, all this and got the damn computer in the first place, I almost read that as Yuri Launcher. Yes, that's lesbian hentai. Anyway, aside from thinking about lesbian hentai, actually, there's a health here. Are you sure it's not lesbian hentai? It could be. It could be. Anyway, I'm putting this in my fails video category because I feel that whoever is responsible for the specs for the game Prototype on the Steam page is a colossal fucking failure. Seriously, was that so hard to ask that when I pay for a fucking video game, that when I pay for it and install it, that when I click play, it just works. Not, oh, it won't work at all. And, oh, there's a convoluted way to try to possibly fix it. But yeah, there's a convoluted way to possibly fix it. What the? There's a box somewhere. But there's a convoluted way to possibly fucking fix it. And one of the convoluted ways, one of them, mind you, I want a key. Where's the shop again? I want to buy your phone. But one of the convoluted ways is to change my CPU core settings and something with affinity and stuff. And I looked into that, and it looks more likely I'm going to fuck up my computer to where I wouldn't even be able to record other videos or anything if it even did work. But it looks like I'm more likely to fuck up my own computer. Then there's stuff about, oh, you download this thing from a zip file, and it'll change resolution. But that, Norton was like, virus! And I'm like, what the fuck? So at least, where the fuck am I? I don't see me. Anyway. Did I get launched backward and lose myself? I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I do not appreciate things that want to try to brick my fucking computer. And I do not appreciate the fucking failure of an individual who put a game for sale on Steam that can't even fucking work. I paid the full price, and you know what? Even if I had paid it at 75% off, even if I had gotten a massive fucking deal, I would feel pissed and cheated. I would feel fucking pissed and fucking cheated, okay? Take the fucking hentai launcher. Wow, this thing must do massive fucking damage. Thank you. A mustache. I believe that gives me a discount at the shops. But yeah, that's the main point of this video. Like, this is not going in the Enter the Gungeon playlist because I don't consider this part of the official Enter the Gungeon playthrough. This is a bonus, never intended video. And I can't, record, the screen of Prototype in this rant because, it doesn't work. So, and I even tried, I was like, oh, what if I just copy a picture of, what if I just copy a picture of Prototype from Google Images and then just record myself talking over that? But apparently OBS isn't meant to record still pictures, which kind of screws another idea I had where I was like, hey, what if I make a list of all the best games for different consoles and then save, oh, that's a pit, and then save, fuck you, oh, come off of it, really? Fine, hentai launcher, go. Reload faster. Fuck. Need a key for this, apparently. This guy buys things with keys. But yeah, that's the main point of this video. And like I said, you're gonna be like, why is there Enter the Gungeon footage? Well, because I thought it'd be kind of fucking boring for me to, just have you guys look at a blank screen while I rant about fucking bullshit. So I thought, you know what, I haven't played Enter the Gungeon in a while. Let's load that up, and I can fucking bitch while I play it. But I'm not considering this part of the Enter the Gungeon playlist, because this is an unofficial Enter the Gungeon video. Come on, where are the fucking items? But yeah. But yeah, this is an unofficial Enter the Gungeon video. It's not considered part of the Enter the Gungeon playlist. As far as I'm concerned, that's done and over with. Now that being said, one playlist I'll probably never be done with will be The Binding of Isaac when it comes out. Because The Binding of Isaac Repentance should be coming out soon. What the fuck is this? Okay, I can run faster. Okay, that's cool, but I wanted another weapon. At least the passive I can fucking use. But I figured this would be less bold, because originally I was just going to talk over a still picture of the original game case for a prototype. So you'd be seeing like just a picture of Alex Mercer with his fucking, bionic commando virus arm shit. Which I'll say this. Prototype 2 wasn't necessarily bad. I don't have a key. Is there a shop? Fucking. There's a guy who wants me to give him keys and a person to give him blood. But can I have the actual? I will just... Go forward, go forward. And that is the shop. Give me the key. The armor. Better be fucking worth it. Not really. It's cool. But yeah, like I said, I was just going to record a picture of the guy from the case of the game. And, yeah, I was going to rant over that. But, yeah, OBS apparently doesn't record pictures. Just videos. Good to know. But, yeah, main thing I wanted to say is, do not buy Prototype on Steam. Period. And do not try to do any of the fixes that they suggest. Because, one, you are very likely to brick your computer, whether by fucking up its settings, where it's irrevocable, or by, more importantly, downloading a fucking virus. Which, I don't think anyone out there wants to brick their fucking computer. Okay? I don't think anyone out there wants to brick their fucking computer. And you know what? You might say, well, oh, it should have been that, like, even if it didn't give you a virus, which I'm like, Norton was pretty fucking sure, and the other stuff is like a brick, and the other people complain. I'll say this, if I had even got it 75% off, even if I had gotten the game at 75% off, I would have been fucking pissed. Let alone the fact that I paid the full asking price for the game, and it won't even launch. I was actually looking forward to playing it. I have not played that game in 12 years. And you know what? I have not played it in 12 years. Let's go with the lasers. I have not played that game in 12 fucking years, and it was a very fun game. Like I said, when it comes right down to it, Prototype, the best way to describe that game... Do I have flight? Yes, I do. That's awesome. But yeah, the best way to describe the game, Prototype, is just to straight up say that it's what would happen if Assassin's Creed did a Patara Earrings fusion. It's what if Assassin's Creed were to do a Patara Earrings fusion with Silent Hill. It is a very fun game, almost like Crackdown meets Resident Evil, okay? It's basically Assassin's Creed, but you're like doing all these virus powers, you run really fast, you basically fly. You're like if Deadpool actually had Venom as a symbiote. Which there's actually a comic about that. So go look that up if you get a chance. But yeah. Even if I had gotten it on a deal, even if I had gotten somehow 75% off, I would have been pissed. But I paid the full price. The full asking price of $20, and it doesn't fucking work, and I'm running into multiple issues that could possibly brick my fucking computer. And if you know what, if some point in the next week my computer just stops working, I'm going to consider that Prototype thing to blame. Because I don't do anything on this computer other than, go on YouTube and then go on Steam and record a video with OBS that I went on the one time to get it, and then post that video on YouTube. I don't go on Twitch, I don't go on Twitter, I don't go on any kind of sites. Yes, I have hentai, but that's from Steam. I actually got those from Steam. I know there's a game called Subverse that's going to be coming out on the 26th that I actually recommended in my... Fuck you, Rocks. In my part 1 of my Cyanide and Happiness video. And basically the game is going to be like Mass Effect, but better, and hentai. So that is fucking awesome, and I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I also got a few other hentai games off of Steam. Let's see. What's worth mentioning? Well, there's Fuda Fix, Dick, Dine, and Dash. That's pretty good. There's a couple others I've gotten that I haven't actually had time to get into yet. So I can't really mention anything about those. There's a few others that are upcoming, but I don't really know much about them to say anything. There's one like called Fuck Me Royally. There's one like about how to raise a wolf girl. There's another one about Honey Pop, like, or Honey Bunny, whatever that is. And there's something about like robots or something. I don't know. And there's a Fuck Me Royally, Cat Girl Quest List or something. Don't have a key. But I know one I got was, it's called Conquer and Breed the Demon Queen. Which, honestly, when I played it so far, the story, the music, the art, it really isn't all that good. But for a hentai, it's not bad. And I'll say this. A lot of it is very convoluted and it just seems kind of silly. And the story is just like... It almost feels like, hey, did you like Redo of a Healer as an anime? Then you'll like this. So, I mean, there are a few parts of it that are tasteless, but for the intent that, well, hentai exists for, it serves its purpose. But I can't say it's really that good of quality. But if you ever wanted a game that is essentially a life simulator of what it's like to fuck Bowsette, you know, the Bowser with the female princess crown? Yeah, if you're wanting a life simulator of what it was like to fuck Bowsette, well, there you go. But yeah, I paid the full asking price of $20, and it won't even fucking launch. And I'm not about to do shit that I did try to start getting to, because I was really looking forward. I have not played the game Prototype in 12 years. It's a very fun game. It's really amazing. And I'll say this. The game itself, Prototype, even though I have not played it in 12 years, I would strongly recommend it. It is literally a Batara fusion between Silent Hill and Assassin's Creed, with a slight sprinkling of Resident Evil and Crackdown. And you know what? I liked those games too, especially the original Crackdown. It's just, it was a lot of fun, especially going around and getting those agility orbs and doing all that parkour stuff with that. That was really cool. And especially every time you get more agility orbs, you can run faster, you can jump higher. It was really cool. I'd say the original Crackdown was really a lot of fun as well. Why am I doing... I have Flight! But yeah, the game Prototype... No, fuck you, head. I don't want... Right, I forgot that thing does like a... But... And maybe at some point I'll actually do that video. Because like I said, I want to make a list compiling... No. I want to make a list. I want to make a... Damn it! You are a bitch, hand! What are you, from Evil Dead? But I want to make a list at some point, compiling. And when I say that list, I'm not going to record it over an Enter the Gungeon video. But I'll find something that could be interesting. Even if it's just the title screen for enter. Even if it's... Actually, you know what? I'll probably just do a list of all the games, but I'll use the title screen for Conquer and Breed the Demon Queen for the background. I just think that'd be kind of hilarious. But... So I think that would be hilarious. I'll do that. Whenever I compile that list, because apparently using images and stuff, and I'm not going to make a video, so I'm just going to have a girl that looks like Bowsette, you know, female Bowser. Though, obviously, if you've never heard of Bowsette, look up the actual Bowsette hentai on Google Images. You know, because Conquer and Breed the Demon Queen definitely doesn't do that stuff justice, especially a lot of the fan art stuff that you can find. And like with all anime or anything, especially hentai, there are some unsavory pictures you'll come across. But then again, this is the internet. And if you're like, oh, I'm too young. If you are under 18, you should not be watching my videos. I cuss a lot. I do a lot of cussing. You should not be watching my videos. If I had known it was 35, I would have bought the key first. But yeah, if you are under 18, do not watch my videos. You are too young. I cuss. I talk about whatever. I don't filter my shit on this fucking channel. The whole point of this is that I can say whatever the fuck I want whenever I want. And I can just be myself and just make just whatever I want. You know, I don't have to work, because here's the thing. I don't have sponsors. I don't have fucking YouTube revenue or Patreon shit or like that. Like I said, I don't have like, now sponsored by Diarrhea and Raid Shadow Legends and Taco Bell, which, I'll say this, I've never played Raid Shadow Legends, and, well, what's with all the mobile games, guys? But I'm not fucking sponsored by shit. And I don't want to be. You know? Because here's the thing. It's kind of like the people that are actual, you know, YouTubers that make money off this shit. They gotta watch what they say. Because, oh no, what if my video gets demonetized? Which I can understand for them. You know, it's their livelihood. Why am I not using my hentai weapon? Especially against the tentacle monster! Come on, we're gonna fucking reverse tentacle fuck it. Or die. Or at least we won't see what happens to our body yet. But yeah, that's the thing. I don't have to worry about what the fuck I say, because, now yes, I still have to avoid, you know, show it like, say in Crimson Gray or in The Letter. There are a few scenes that I have omitted from, you know, posting because, well, they're too sexual. I can show risque stuff. But outright nudity or just literally, like, you know, a dick is getting slammed into a pussy and there's cum flying everywhere. I'm like, and just nipples and bouncing tits. I'm like, yeah, YouTube will not allow that. YouTube is not okay with that. YouTube is not okay with that at all. So I'm not going to do that shit because I'll at least respect, even though I don't like the idea of censorship or editing, but, you know what? I'll at least abide by the guidelines. That being said, you're allowed to talk about whatever shit you want. The only issue, of course, is that, you know, if you cuss a lot or talk about subjects like hentai and futanari and just random political or religious shit, or just your own depression, or just, you know, bashing on a game you think is shit, and then the people who made that game are like, oh no! You know, that's our game, we don't, you know, and then, because here's the thing, I don't have to worry about being demonetized. I don't have to worry about offending my sponsors. You know, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, you know? I don't have to worry about that. I can just be myself. I don't have fucking Raid Shadow Legends sitting behind my back saying, how dare you say shit about us. And I'll say this, I haven't actually said anything bad about Raid Shadow Legends. I have never played it. In fact, the only thing I've ever seen of Raid Shadow Legends was, clips where MXR plays. Henry and Genie. I don't know if anyone out there has heard of these guys, but they're actually pretty popular. They got like a lot, like 1 million or something subscribers. And I'll say this, I'm one of them, and I laugh and I find their videos hilarious. And Henry! Wow, the fucking sloop mods that granted, I don't think my computer would handle the mods that Henry makes for Skyrim and shit, but for him to be able to do that, it is very impressive. So way to go, Henry. Beyond that, Jeannie, well, she seems pretty cool. And I feel like she brightens a lot of the videos up, and it's just, I don't know, she tends to be very funny, and just mainly the chemistry between her and Henry is just, I think it makes a far more entertaining show than either of them would be on their own. I think they just play off each other amazingly well, like they have really good chemistry together. So good for them. Now that being said, Raid Shadow Legends, I have never played it, but I'm not much of one for that. But it's just, here's the thing. If they were to talk bad about Raid Shadow Legends, I'm pretty sure they'd lose that sponsorship. And that'd be a big deal for them because they rely on that for income. Me, I don't want this to ever become a job. I want this to just be a way to express myself, to, become more confident in my ability to talk. I know my very first video was a live stream video where it was, me talking to a camera. And even though I was, wearing a mask, I felt so very nervous. I am, one, naturally a very anxious, anxiety-ridden person. And I've had a lot of stuff going on. And it's just, I feel, well, depressed and high-strung. And when I recorded that video, it was just so hard to talk. I was so nervous, even though I was wearing a mask. And you'd think that would make me feel a little less uncomfortable. And, granted, the mask mainly is for your guys' benefit, because I'm an ugly son of a bitch. I literally look like Cthulhu, so, well, say I look like Cthulhu is understandable. I am Cthulhu. So, that guy that's underneath the ocean that's going to bring about the end of the world? That's me. So, it's not that I look like Cthulhu. I am Cthulhu. Now, that being said, did I get everything out of the shop I needed? Was there another chip? Okay, probably a shitty weapon. At least I got this weapon. Oh. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, main point is, where was I going with this? Main point is, more than likely anyone who's watching this video is already subscribed to MXR Play. So I'm just saying this. Henry is really awesome at the mods that he makes. And just him and Jeannie together, they're very entertaining. It's really fun to watch their videos, and it tends to make me laugh, and it's certain perspectives they have are hilarious. I'm just saying this. I have never played Raid Shadow Legends, and I don't ever plan to. It's just, let's be clear. If they so much as show something a little too sexual, they gotta worry, oh no, their video's demonetized. Or that their entire channel could be demonetized. Which, they depend on. It's their income. It's how they pay their rent and keep from being homeless. Same with Tierra Grace. It's how he makes his income. And I know YouTube's actually been fucking him over quite a bit, to where a lot of times on his Twitch streams, people are helping him out a lot, and he never seems to stop being amazed at just how generous his people are. And he's always going going on and on about how he doesn't deserve it. But I'll say this, Brett, you do deserve it. I've never donated to you. I've never even been on one of your streams. I've watched your streams, when they were uploaded to YouTube. I haven't been on Twitch since Ultra J-Man did Battle Kid 2, Mountain of Torment. But I'll say this, I know I recommended a while ago to Tira Grace to play the game Human Farm when it comes out in a couple months. Whether or not he will or not, just depends on if it looks like it's cool to him, which I think he would find it hilarious. What it is, heck, I think Henry from MXR Plays might find it hilarious. What it is, you're a pig guy, and you're raising human beings, and then you have to brutally murder and dismember them with lots of gore included. And then what you do is you sell it to other pig people for a profit. So I think they would both get quite a laugh out of it. Jeannie might have to cover her eyes, not watch it. I imagine she would not be okay with it. She might be too innocent for it. Yeah, Jeannie might be too innocent for it. But I think Henry would get a laugh out of it. I think Brett would too. But it's just a laser sight and a grenade launcher. Do you need that accuracy? Really? But I'll say this, Henry's skill with the mods, damn. And just like I said, their interaction together, and I'll say this, Jeannie seems like a really, really cool person. But, okay, mahogany. But yeah, Brett, you deserve it. I mean, you do make a lot of people smile. I mean, there's a lot of people that seem to very constantly tell you that, you help them deal with their depression. And you know what? I'm one of those people. Granted, I've never donated to you. But I have been watching your content for years. And you never seem to cease in making me laugh. You cheer me up. And I think he said that on the one hand, he's happy that he seems to be, able to make people feel happier. But at the same time, he said he feels kind of bad that, there's a lot of people that are feeling bad that they, need someone like him to cheer them up. Because it means people have shit going on in their lives and he feels bad for what's going on with them. So it's cool to know that, but yeah, Human Farm is like, you're brutally going to, dismember human bodies to sell for food. But I'll say this, Tira Grace and his other channel, Tira of Disgrace, it's hilarious. I'll also say that, what is this? Ah! But I'll say this, Brett, he is hilarious. I enjoy his videos a lot. And I know one thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be playing Binding of Isaac Repentance when it comes out. And he's actually doing his Road to Repentance thing to where, his plan is to have everything unlocked in the Binding of Isaac before Repentance drops, so we can go straight into new content. I know my first viewing of whatever the new ending is, the new paths, and new bosses and stuff, will probably be watching his videos. That being said, my take on everything is going to be, I am going to do something I call the Binding of Isaac Ultra Impossible Challenge from scratch. Or Ultra Impossible Difficulty from scratch. What the idea is going to be this. I have not played the Binding of Isaac for, I'm not sure how long, maybe somewhere between 4 to 8 months at this point on the PS4. But like a month or something ago, I bought all of the Isaac stuff and the DLCs. Okay, I thought it was a boss for a second. But, do I have another gun? No, I don't have another gun. Anyway, the main point being, ow! Is that... What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the Isaac. But I have not played any Isaac. I have not played any Isaac on Steam. I am waiting for a Repentance to come out. So that's one of the things about it, is that it's from scratch. So it's I'm going to be playing Binding of Isaac Ultra Impossible from scratch. So one of the things that's going to be a key staple of it is that nothing will be unlocked. So when Repentance drops, I will be starting up the game the very first time, and I will have absolutely 0 unlocks. So I'm going to be going into Repentance with absolutely nothing unlocked, to where I'm going to be starting completely from scratch, absolutely nothing. So that's the from scratch part. Now the Ultra Impossible part is this. I'm going to do something that's going to make it quite a bit harder. which I'll say this. Tier Grace is a much better player of the game of Isaac than I ever could be. And I make a lot of really dumb mistakes with it. But, I'll say this. It's still fun even if you lose. Same with this game. I'm terrible at this game, but it's fun to play even though I'm terrible at it. And I'll say this, with Binding of Isaac Ultra Impossible, Repentance, from scratch, do not expect good gameplay. Do not expect competent gameplay. I am going to be terrible and I'm going to make the dumbest of mistakes. And I'll say this, even if I weren't putting the self-imposed challenge, I would probably never, ever, ever, ever 100% the game. Now that being said, I should describe what the self-imposed challenge is. First, every playthrough of the game, I will be playing on hard from the very first time I started up. The second thing is that every single game I play, I will always, always, always be picking a random character. So I'll never be able to pick ahead of time what character I want. That being said, every time I also run, I'm going to roll a d4. Now, should I roll a 1, I will play the traditional path, you know, the normal, you know, basement, caves, dark, you know, depths, womb, all that stuff, you know, the way the game is meant to be played. Though I will be playing it on hard every single time, and with a random character every single time. I could really use some keys. Why do I not have keys? What could I have possibly picked up? Oh, the ice thing. Have I come across the shop yet? No, I have not. Must be right here. Anyway, what was I talking about, guys? Give me a second. Alright, so yeah, if I roll a 1, is green or blue better? I can't remember. Yeah, go. This one's in a room. I'll use it. Okay, it's a Mega Man gun. Or no, that's a Samus gun from Metroid. Anyway. If I roll a 1, I'll do the traditional path. Now granted, it'll still be of a random character, and it'll be on hard. But if I roll a 2, it'll be greed mode. And again, random character. But, that being said, if Greedier is unlocked, then I will be playing on Greedier mode every single time. Now, if I roll a 3, I'll be doing one of the challenges. Normally with a challenge, you only want to unlock a few abilities, like a sight, or take runes. There's like 10 or something runes or something, and some of them are pretty fucking useless. But if you just unlock Jera, then it means not only are you guaranteed to get runes now, but they're going to be Jera every single time. Which means sometimes you can get a room with 5 Jeras in it. And especially with Terror Claw doubling the ability, you can then easily get a massive amount of chests in the chest. And to the point that you can actually break the game and have chests bouncing off everything and the game crashes. Like, you can get so much power that the game will crash. And I think that's just, granted you lose progress, but at the same time, it's cool that you do that. That, you know, you can abuse the system that much. But normally, you know, you just get the 1 rune, and you get Scythes, and Meat Boy Superfan, and Tech .5, Gold Hearts, Gold Bombs, and then you wouldn't touch any of the other challenges, because almost all the other rewards and runes are absolute fucking garbage, and it just, by getting more shit items, it dilutes the item pool, so that you get the good items less and less and less. That being said, even if I roll a 3 that makes me do the challenges, I don't get to choose what my challenge is. I will roll a d8, and based on the number from the d8, I will be able to randomly pick what challenge I go to out of the ones that are currently available. So, and if I die, I won't be able to keep just retrying it. I'll have to re-roll again. So I won't be able to get used to things, and it'll make it much harder. Now, if I roll a 4, it'll either be new path or daily challenge. Now, daily challenge is some sort of setup seed that's, apparently for everyone in the world to go by. But there's also apparently supposed to be some sort of new path. But I don't know if it's something like the way greed mode is, like its own separate thing. Like, is there going to be a lust mode? I don't know. But main point being is, if not, then I'll do 4 as a daily challenge. So I'm not sure how that works. But I'll say this, I'm really looking forward to Tear of Grace playing Repentance. And hopefully he'll play Human Farm and the game Dragon Spirit. I'm not really impressed with my items. But I'll say this. I'm glad there are people out there that are supporting it. Because I'll tell you this. Brett, you are hilarious. And you are very enjoyable to watch and listen to. I've been watching your content for years, and I think you're one of the best Let's Players on all of YouTube. And I'll say this. As far as Henry and Jeannie, same way there's also another channel out there called The Click, and another guy that goes by the name of Taluli. They are hilarious, and I enjoy their content a lot. And they seem like really cool people, all of them. Beyond that, there is an old group of Let's Players called Freelanceastronauts, and they actually have a Let's Play of Prototype that they did, and it's very hilarious, and I suggest you watch the Freelance Astronauts, or in other words, but yeah, I suggest you watch Freelance Astronauts play a Prototype. That being said, they also go by the name of S.A. Maxwell Adams. But they also got a lot of other videos too. But all in all, 30. Is there another? Could have sworn it's on their chest. Not yet? But yeah, go check out there. They have a Let's Play of Prototype, which is absolutely hilarious. And I'll say this, the game Prototype, like I said, the game Prototype is just, it's awesome. The game Prototype is awesome to play. It's like Assassin's Creed Katara earring fused with, Silent Hill. It is awesome. It is hilarious. It is so much fun. This is a shitty weapon. Why would you give me this? I am very disappointed in your game. I have enough to buy this fucking heart. Let's go fight the boss of the Sling. But yeah, main thing I'm trying to say is this. I hope Tear of Grace plays the game Dragon Spirit for the NES, which I believe is the absolute best game ever made for the NES. Also, it'd be kind of interesting to see Tear of Grace play Battle Kid 1, Fortress of Peril, and Battle Kid 2, Mountain of Torment. But then again, I could also say the same of him playing Kid Chameleon for the Sega Genesis, or Jersey Devil for the PlayStation 1, or Gex series, but more so Jersey Devil for the PlayStation 1. Or how about Brave Fencer Musashi for the PlayStation? It'd be awesome to see Tear of Grace play Brave Fencer Musashi, especially as much as Stuart Ribson completely butchers Old English. Like, thou if doeth this, if, like, there's an eth and earn, thou and doth on everything, and it's just, I think Brett would be laughing his ass off at it. I think he would laugh his ass off. And beyond that, NES, there's also Swords and Serpents, there's Castlevania 2, there's, what else is there? I know there was something else I was thinking of. What was it? Come on, I gotta remember this. What? Fuck! What was the other? Robo Warrior? Was that the other one I wanted to say? I think so. Yeah, there's a game called Robo Warrior, which honestly I'd say is the second best game for an NES. I know I don't exactly have lists in front of me right now, so I won't get around to making that list video, but I'll say this. I'll try to... maybe I'll get... I know PS2, Dot Hack Infection was a lot of fun. And on the Sega Genesis, there was also Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. That was a lot of fun. But yeah. Robo Warrior is like Bomberman, but you have to save the environment by blowing up all the trees. And it's very fun, but I'll say this. You don't have a timer, you have a health bar. Health bar that's a battery because you're a robot. And the battery is constantly ticking down at all times. So your time limit is that you're dying at all times. And your enemies don't really do that much damage. They're more so just a nuisance. But the most dangerous thing in the entire game is you. You drop bombs all the time. You can drop a line of bombs. You can drop 2 bombs in one spot. But each bomb does half your full health. Which means even if you're at full health, you are always a second away from instantly killing yourself. Aside from that, other abilities you have are candles, lamps, nuclear warheads, missiles that are just flying fucking chainsaws, the lightning strikes of Zeus. You have boots, a flower that lets you shoot in 4 directions, an additional energy battery and inner tubes. After all, you need an inner tube because you're a robot. You can't swim, so you need an inner tube to get over water. But here's the thing. Lamps and candles are probably your most valuable resource next to your additional health items. Because your health is constantly ticking down. You're constantly dying. And the enemies don't do that much damage. But they're all constantly trying to stun lock you. And if they stun lock you in your bombs, well then you're dead. And here's the thing. On the old NES, there was no save function. But you had infinite continues. So you can keep playing on and on and on and on. But every time you died, it halved all your resources. So that eventually you get in a point to where, yes, you have infinite continues. But now you don't have enough resources to win. And you have no way of getting those resources. So now you're essentially stuck in an area, especially since the dark levels. The dark levels, you need candles, and most of all, lamps. To see what you're doing, especially since a lot of those have water in places you can't fucking see. And you won't be able to see shit. And what happens is without that, you're just stuck. You're trapped. So you need those resources in order to get through the dark levels, or else it's just you can't even see the map you're playing. But I'll say this, Dragon Spirit and Robo Warrior have 2 of the best soundtracks for all of video games to ever exist. And the fact that they are on the old school NES, 8-bit, is another league altogether. But another thing that also discouraged a lot of people with Robo Warrior is that the idea is the game is it's a sideways scrolling game, where in the very last screen you have to pick up a key by blowing up a certain tree to get the key to open the door to leave. But in 1/3 of the levels, there is an additional item called a sleigh. It looks like a king's crown or royal jewels sort of thing, but like a big kingly crown. And it's usually located at a midway point of the level. If you fail to pick that up, when you get to the second to the last screen, before the one that would have the key, you loop back to the beginning of the game. And if every time you go by again, if you keep missing the sleigh, then you just keep looping forever. And they do this in 1/3 of the levels, and they never explain this to you, and they never outright tell you. So, and they also decide that this mechanic that is poorly explained, that they're going to introduce it on the very first level. So a lot of times, when people first start playing this game the very first time, they spend 2 hours looping the first level, and they get frustrated and bored because they can't make any progress, and they quit. So that's just terrible design right there. But it's a fun game once you know what you're doing, and it's an amazing soundtrack. But I'll say this. Games that would be amazing for Tier Grace to play, other than Human Farm, which is coming out in 2 months on Steam, beyond that, something that really, and of course I'm really looking forward to him playing Repentance. That's going to be, the first time I see the ending to the game Repentance, will probably be Tier Grace playing it. And I'll say this. I'd probably say Tier Grace is probably one of, if not the best, Let's Player on YouTube. He is hilarious. I mean, the Shadow of War videos just as much as he talks shit Italian. It's just, I'll say this. Brett, I know you don't quite understand how, you cheer us all up, but I'll say this. Brett, you make us laugh, you make us smile, you help us deal with the shit that's got us down in our lives that sometimes is beyond our control. We really enjoy watching your videos, and, well, I hope you never stop. You are an amazing Let's Player, and I have always enjoyed your content, and I think you are awesome. And you make me laugh, and it's really awesome. Like I said, Jersey Devil, PlayStation 1. Brave Fensu Musashi, PlayStation 1. Kid Chameleon from Sega Genesis. But perhaps most of all, Dragon Spirit for the NES. I know I also said Battle Kid 1, Mountain of Fortress of Peril, and Battle Kid 2, Mountain of Torment. But Dragon Spirit for the NES. But also, Dragon Spirit's kind of got another thing. It's a vertical scrolling shmup. So you're a dragon. And your very first level 0 is considered your tutorial. And in level 0, you're going through a small little castle level. At the end of it, you fight Ariel from the... You know Ariel from The Little Mermaid? Her dad. You're killing her dad. You're killing Poseidon. He also goes by the name Zawell. He's like a giant flying mermaid man with a boomerang for a head. Anyway, you have to beat him to get the proper end. Because technically, if you die to Zawell in the very level 0, you only get to play half the levels. You only get to play level 1, 3, 4, 7, and then 1/3 of 9. And then when you fight the final boss, you only fight his first form, and then you get a joke end. You also play that whole version of it as the Yellow Dragon, which moves faster, shoots faster, has more firepower, and double health and more lives. I would say that possibly save state between each level. But, here's the thing. If you want the full ending, you have to absolutely beat level 0 without dying once. If you die, just reload the game. That being said, if you beat Zawell, you get a certain type of little credit sequence, and then you play the normal game as the Blue Dragon, which is, you go from easy mode to hard mode, but it's how you get the proper ending. And, level 1, it's a dinosaur area, you fight the Loch Ness Monster. Level 2 is, you're fighting a phoenix at the end of a volcano zone. Level 3 is you're fighting the Daco tree at the end of a jungle area. 4 is you're fighting a giant zombie dragon at the end of a graveyard. 5, you're fighting spiders in a cave. 6, you're fighting a sort of flying kamikaze snake on fields of cocaine. And then 7 is, you're down under the sea and you're having to fucking punch Flounder in the face. Though Flounder got kind of turned inside out. So they made Flounder into a fleshlight. So it's a little morbid. I think it's supposed to be a horseshoe crab, technically. But you get the point. Then level 8, it's kind of a dark quarters. They blink lights on and off. You're going through some tunnels with some spikes. And then you fight Gene Simmons. And then you have the castle area. But since it's the normal version of the game, you play the full length of it, so it kind of drags on a bit. And at the end of it, you fight the boss, Golda, who starts off as just a really big man who's flashing you. Don't worry, there's no nudity. It's just, he opens his coat and it's just blackness. There's nothing. It's an NES game. They wouldn't be able to render anything anyway. It was 8-bit. But then, after you beat that, it turns out that your whole story about wizards and demons and dragons now has aliens, because he's driving a spaceship. And you're like, oh, and he's also throwing, flaming balls at you and shit, and you're, playing Pong with him. So, I hope that didn't spoil the story, but if anything, it should be, a little bit of a... You're like, what the fuck are you getting into? But yeah, Dragon Spirit for the NES, absolutely. Strongly recommend to everyone out there, but most of all, I think it'd be hilarious to see Tierra Grace play it. I think because his reactions to it would be really funny. And beyond that, what was the point of this? My point is, I like making these videos. I like being able to ramble on about whatever the hell I want without any concern about oh no, will this video be demonetized? Because, I just want to be able to talk to people. As is, I feel kind of isolated from the rest of humanity. I'm alone all the time, aside from work, and even then that's not exactly social. So, at this point, I feel kind of like YouTube's the only real way for me to reach out to other human beings and actually have a connection to anyone out there. And I enjoy watching the Let's Plays, I always have for such a long time. And for a while I wanted to do Let's Plays, so I just didn't have the chance. And now I finally have the chance, I have the computer, I can, make these videos, and it's so much fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I am kind of considering Beat Saber, because that looks really awesome. But I'd have to go out and buy a VR headset and all that stuff. And I'm just kind of on the fence about if I even should, especially if, what if something doesn't launch, what if something doesn't work with that after I went through a prototype. And like I said, Freelance Astronauts, they do a really good playthrough of that. And also, if you ever want a really good laugh, MXR Plays, The Click, Taluli, they're all very hilarious. And I know Henry from MXR Plays makes a shit ton of really cool mods, and I'm like, wow, he must be really smart and good at what he does to be able to do that. And heck, if Raid Shadow Legends is actually any good, tell me in the comments. Have you actually played it? If anyone out there has actually played Raid Shadow Legends, well, tell me what you think. But I'm still not going to play it. It just doesn't look like something I want to play. But I'm not really much of a mobile phone game player person. But it's just... I just like being able to talk freely with people. I mean, hell, I can at least admit that I'm depressed on this fucking thing. At work, it's either a stretch between going hours without talking to anyone and having no human contact, or it's me having to train people, or me having to talk to people in a certain way, or occasionally running into someone who talks shit to me, especially at other jobs where, an employer might say something you disagree with morally, or they say something that's really demeaning to you, and you just gotta suck up your pride and just pretend that you don't have feelings. And it hurts, but at the same time, it's just what you gotta do in order to pay the rent. And it's just, I deal with that all the time. And even at my job I have right now, it's that, I don't think a single person at work knows I'm depressed. I mean, heck, a lot of people feel I'm the most optimistic person they've ever met. And I can usually make my coworkers laugh a little bit. I can find some way to make a joke and try to figure out, okay, what do they find funny? What's their sense of humor? And try to play off that. I can usually make other people laugh, especially if they're not having such a good day. And in general, I tend not to be super honest with people about just how down I tend to feel sometimes. I mean, and I haven't seen any of my friends in such a long time, and I know the whole COVID thing going on, and I mean, I was at least able to go see my mom and my sister sometimes, but it's hard to be able to do that sometimes with everything going on. And recently, I had to be a little bit worried about my sister, just because she had that thing where she broke her arm, and I'm like, fuck. She had to get plate and screws in her damn arm. But I at least was able to make her laugh a little bit, help her out a little bit, and go see her. But I have other family members, some that, due to the whole COVID pandemic, I haven't seen my son in about a year. And I think I've been going a little bit insane, just how depressed I feel about that. And talking to this computer screen's better than sitting in his bedroom talking to his stuffed animals and crying. But I look forward when the whole pandemic thing's over, because when the whole original lockdown started, I haven't been able to see him since then. Because before the whole pandemic started, he was coming over every other weekend. And I'd be able to take him to the park, take him to the library. I'd be able to cook some stuff for him. I'd be able to read him books. And I know I tried to read a few books on the channel, but like the way I read the Pokemon stuff and the Winnie the Pooh stuff, I'm like, holy shit, I would never have read it like that to my son. And I'm like, obviously, the amount of anger and sadness I feel at everything going on, the frustration I feel, just how fucking hopeless it feels sometimes with everything going on. It's kind of hard for that emotion to not, go out there. And there was at one point I'm decided, okay, I'm going to try to, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll force myself to read it, in a way that, sounds normal. Like, force myself to read it with the same kind of love and kindness that I would read for my son. And I did that with a Paw Patrol book, and, that video is not on YouTube. Because I just didn't want anybody to see that, because that just within a matter of less than 10 minutes, it just evolved into me crying for an hour straight. I wasn't even reading at all anymore. I was just fucking bawling my eyes out. And I don't want to do any of that sort of shit. But the whole COVID pandemic is just, and mainly the lockdown stuff. And granted, we're not really in lockdown now, but it's just, I don't see people. I'm alone all the time. Right now, talking to this computer screen is really the closest thing I have to a friend right now, it feels like. I haven't seen any of my real-world friends, and I can't even remember how long anymore. And of course, I haven't been in a relationship or a date or anything since my divorce. So I've just been alone, on top of alone in different ways. And I don't really have anyone to talk to. So like right now, talking to this computer screen is the closest thing I have to a friend. And of course at work, like I said, I try to be social with people to a degree. But I also try to most time at work I feel like I just want to lay down on the ground and crawl in a fetal position and cry. I feel like, what's the fucking point? Why do I keep going? Why do I keep doing this damn job? What's even the point? But I don't do that. I just keep going and pretend that nothing's wrong. But I constantly either just want to lay down and cry or bash my head into everything. Or as much like, and like I said, I would never ever hurt myself, and I never have, and I would never ever kill myself, and I've never tried, but it's just, I feel fucking depressed, and I feel almost defeated in life, and it's just, I just feel very frustrated with everything, especially like the COVID stuff, and just, I know we're not in a hardcore lockdown anymore, but at the same time, it's just, with the way everything's going on, it's just, I feel completely alone and isolated, and it doesn't help that I basically have paranoia and PTSD / emotional issues from lots of different issues. And I'm not about to go get therapy because that'd be way too damn expensive. Even with medical insurance. Healthcare is not exactly cheap here in America. I don't want to go see a therapist and give them, pay out my entire paycheck. But it's nice to have people to talk to. And I always enjoyed the Let's Play videos. I always found them hilarious. I remember watching Proton John doing Mario ROM hacks, and it was just so funny. Like, move faster, Pokey! Or, what is it? What's this guy's name? What's his name again? JonTron? The guy who does the flex tape video. I think it's JonTron. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Oh, tell me in the comments below. But the guy who does the flex tape video, he's hilarious. He also does a thing about boating and something about Steven Seagal. And it's just, he even did a workout video of O.J. Simpson and a workout video of Regis Philbin. And it's hilarious. And it's just, it makes me laugh. And it's just, I'll say this, I don't think anyone at work knows I'm depressed. I do my best to try to hide it. That's one good thing about whether I'm in public, whether it's a Walmart, or a grocery store, or a mall, or work, or family, friends. I try my best just to plaster a smile on my face, and to smile and laugh and pretend I'm completely happy. And I'll say this, I mean, I can't really complain about life. I mean, granted I work a bit of overtime here and there, but it at least makes sure I have enough money to, well, be able to spend $20 on a game like Prototype and have it not even fucking work. Which still pisses me off, but at the end, man, that's not a big deal. It's just, it is frustrating. I spent the $20, the full asking price for the game Prototype on Steam, and I can't even fucking play it. But I'll say this, the game Prototype is really fun. It's like Assassin's Creed, Patara Earring fused with Silent Hill. It's really fun. But I can't play it. I can't show it to you guys. I'm sorry, I really wanted to show it to you guys, but I can't. I can't even play it myself. But I know what I can do, and it's the same thing I suggest that all of you can do as well. Freelance Astronauts, Maxwell Adams. Granted, I don't think he uploads anything anymore for about a decade at this point. Heck, I think he's probably forgotten that he ever made Let's Plays. He probably stopped caring. You know, he had to move on with his life, I guess. Which is good, because his content's still out there for us. Though, it'd always be cool to see something new from him. He also did Worms videos, and Seaman, and Pepsi Man! I remember seeing one compilation video, it was called Bears Chronicles of Pain. And then, of course, there was the original Mass Effect, where he did all sorts of really fucked up shit with Mass Effect. One where he's walking like a bird, another where he's like driving the Mako during cutscenes. Though, I know a lot of people, you know, hark on the Mako that saying it was a piece of shit in the first game. I liked it. I wanted the tank to be faster and bouncier. I wanted it to be a fucking gummy bear of death. Okay? I thought it was fun. I was disappointed with the fucking hammerhead in the second game. And of course, we're all disappointed with Mass Effect 3. All your decisions have culminated into 3 different colored endings. The fuck? Everything you did was for nothing. Oh, well, you did this. You get the blue ending. What's different? The sky's blue. The sky's red. The sky's purple. What was the point? This is blue balls on a galactic scale. But he did he did some mods with, I think it was Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker, something like that. Or was it Majora's Mask? Anyway, one of the Legend of Zelda games. He did, like, normally there's a temple where there's like a spinning wheel cog thing that goes up the outer circumference and a spiral. And you just ride it like an elevator. But he was able to spawn it on the fields and ride it like a horse. But it flies like a fucking Hyperdredo out of fucking Beyblade. And it's just like spinning so fast. And it's like a spinning top of death. And it's just insane how fast it's going. Or like him and all his friends going, "Hey you guys!" And it's a lot of fun. So, like I said, I know what I can do is I can search on YouTube Freelance Astronauts Let's Play Prototype. But again, like I said, Mass Effect's good. They even do a 4-player co-op difficulty of the original Super Mario Bros. Wii. And that is hilarious. It is very funny, and I strongly suggest it. But, most of all, and of course he does a playthrough of a game called Pepsi Man. But I'll say this. Look up Freelance Astronauts Let's Play Prototype. It is hilarious, and you will not regret watching it. And you will probably choke on your Pepsi as you watch it. It is hilarious, and I strongly recommend it. But I do not recommend getting the game Prototype yourself off of Steam, because it will not fucking work, and then any attempt you try to do with it has a good chance, whether through fucking your settings or fucking you up with a virus, is likely to just brick your fucking computer. And the fact that it was even a risk to begin with offends me more than the $20 I spent on a game that I can't play. I spent $20 on a game, and it's fully uninstalled from my computer. I ran an extra virus check, and at this point, if anything does happen on my computer, I'm blaming that game, and I'm going to be pissed at it. But I'm enjoying making these Let's Plays. I like making these videos. I like being able to talk unfiltered. I know when I'm at work, I have to be filtered. I can't cuss, I can't yell, I can't show anger, I have to constantly keep a damn smile on my face, I have to nod and agree with everything I'm fucking told, and I have to basically just act like I'm a fucking robot. And it's just... Or in society, like in Walmart or something like that, I have to smile, nod, wave. And of course, yes, I'm a very non-confrontational person. I'm super polite, nice to everyone. I've never hurt anyone in my life. Though, in school I got bullied the shit out of, and I've gotten my ass kicked more times than I can possibly count. But I've never hurt anybody. Hell, all my relationships end with either me getting dumped, cheated on, or both. I've never actually hurt anybody. I've never cheated on anyone, and well, I've always done my best to be nice to everyone. And I'll say this, I would never, ever, ever go out and hurt anybody. And I don't understand, I mean, heck, the news is recently talking about people going to malls and shootings and stuff like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Why is this shit happening? And it's just, I just don't understand why people do that. And I'll say this, I have never killed a single person in the real world, and I never ever will. Because, I mean, how could you ever do that? That'd be awful. And if someone out there, I mean, I understand there's some jobs that require you to do it, like you're police or military, but that's a different story. You're doing that to protect people. You're doing that to help people. You're doing it in service to your country and in service to your fellow man. You're trying to save people. That's a completely different thing. Whereas there's people going to a mall and they're opening fire with a gun, which I don't think they really shot anybody. They didn't say, they said nobody got hurt. But it seems like it's getting to be a trend, and if this keeps up, eventually people are going to get hurt. And I don't understand. Like, why would anyone want to hurt anybody? I mean, I understand I feel frustrated and angry sometimes, and I'll have violent fantasies while listening to angry music. But that's mainly because it helps me to release some endorphins and feel a little better. And, process my own feelings of hurt and frustration and anger. Because most of all, same as playing a game of Mortal Kombat or Grand Theft Auto, or where you just drive down pedestrians on the street, or you're fucking ripping someone's spine out of their body. They're digital sprites. They're zeros and ones. No one's feeling any pain. You're not hurting anybody. It's just simply a cathartic release of pent-up emotion. And, it's fun to play a video game. You're not hurting anybody. And it's a nice way of expression, especially with these videos. I can just talk and ramble like this, because like I said, right now, you, Senator Computer, are one of the few people I have to talk to. And I'll be honest, I don't want to go to people and complain like, oh, I'm super depressed, and I'm sad, and I feel like I don't want to function anymore, and I just feel really hopeless and depressed, and like I'm going to be alone forever, and that no woman would ever find me attractive anymore, and that no one's ever going to want me, and that no one's ever going to love me, and constantly worrying about my son, and missing him, and then worrying about my family, and issues with my parents, issues with my sister, issues with my job, finances. The finances are better because I've worked a shit ton of overtime for such a long time, which on the one hand, like I said, I can't really complain, because of that, I can afford all these games. I was able to buy this computer because of all the damn overtime. If it wasn't for the overtime, I would have never been able to buy this computer. I would have never been able to get these games on Steam. Hell, I would have never been able to entertain the idea of getting a VR headset. I would never even be able to entertain that idea. That would be so far flung for the reality of possible outcomes that I could ever reach. But due to all the overtime that I've worked, it's an option. It's actually an option. I actually could go out and buy a VR headset and get Beat Saber. It's a thing that's possible. I mean, but like I said, if it wasn't for but I'm still on the fence about it. But then again, I was kind of worried about getting the computer because that was a bit to spend. But I am happy I got this computer. I am enjoying playing these games. I am looking forward to playing Isaac. And I'll say this. Isaac I'll be playing a lot of. And don't expect good gameplay. I'm going to be terrible at it. In fact, what I plan to do is this. Each playlist of Isaac, I plan to want to try to get 666 parts for it. Though I know I said I was going to do 106 parts for Enter the Gungeon, and 106 parts for Dead Cells as a homage to the 106% stuff in Crash Bandicoot. And yet look where I got. 42 parts for Enter the Gungeon and 3 parts of Dead Cells. So, and every time I say, I'm going to try to focus on one game, I want to launch into another. I have, like I said, right now I need to try to get through The Letter, and I need to get through Will of Wonderful World, and I need to get through Zonky Zero all in the next 2 weeks before Binding of Isaac Repentance comes out. And then, of course, a week and a half after that, I'm wanting to play Guilty Gear Strive, which will be my very first Guilty Gear I've ever played in my life. But I'm really looking forward to it. And then, of course, a month after that, we have Resident Evil 8 The Village. And that'll be a lot of fun. And I know whenever in the future, if Tekken X Street Fighter, the new version of it, ever comes out, I want to get that. But I don't know if it's ever going to come out. And I know there's other visual novels I want to hop into, and it's just like... And of course, yesterday I started Don Ran Pa Draga. It's Dragon Rope. Okay? I don't remember how to pronounce it. But I made one part and I was falling asleep through the video. And it's not because it's a bad game. It's an amazing game, and it looks so unique. The art style is amazing. It's wonderful. Then again, I know that saying about a lot of games. I know in The Letter, and a lot of parts, I'm just praising just how beautiful the pictures are. Even if they're horrifying and they're gory, they're so well done, and it's just the amount of skill and time, blood, sweat, and tears they had to have poured into it. It's so amazing. And I am enjoying it. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, but yeah, the Danganronpa, Dragonama, Despair, Trigger Happy Havoc, and it's like a quadrilla. There's a Goodbye Despair, that's a second game, and the third game is called like D3 Killing Harmony, and there's a fourth game called Ultra Despair Girls. So I have no idea what to expect from that stuff. But of course, I gotta beat game 1 before I go any further. And I'll say this, it looked amazing, but I was falling asleep. Not because it wasn't bad, it was amazing. It's just that I've just been really exhausted lately, and honestly, I should be going back to sleep soon, because I do need to go back to work soon. But at the same time, it's just, I'm getting emotionally worked up about this, because I'm actually, it's just, for me, this is a release. The whole point of making these videos is partly because, I know it's kind of a cop-out to say I'm giving back to YouTube community. Because one, my videos have to be interesting. They're not. It's a random, boring, crazy dude just who's lonely and isolated talking to a computer because he's lonely and isolated and super depressed. And because he does his best to hide the fact that he's depressed from his coworkers and everyone else. And I try to, come off as happy, so that other people can't tell. Because I don't want to, throw all my... And granted, part of me feels that's... Because I know in the past, when I went through some really bad breakups... I talked to some of my friends about it, and I would go on for hours about it just because I was just really upset. It was a big deal, and I was devastated about the stuff. And I know that probably annoyed them. But at the same time, it's just, I needed it. I wasn't okay. But it's just, lately it's just I'm lonely and isolated. I don't really have anyone to talk to, it seems. And of course, if I do have people to talk to, I don't want to overload them with the stuff that I'm overloading you guys with. Because, I don't want to bother my friends. I don't want to annoy my friends. I don't want to drive my friends off and make them feel like, oh shit, I don't want to be around Lunar D8 because he's just going to, complain about the stuff that makes him sad. And, I don't want to drive my friends away. I would rather, be able to hang out with my friends and play a video game or watch something really funny on YouTube together, or go to the bar and shoot some pool, and actually, just enjoy their companionship and hang out with my buddies. I don't want to, annoy them and drive everyone away, because after all. But I know in the past, sometimes I would go a while without seeing people, and then I'd see them, and I would talk and talk and talk about it. And it's just, normally, it's not that I want to be overly talking all the time to people. It's that I go so long without talking to anyone that it's so much pent up inside that once I get the opportunity to let it out, it just doesn't stop coming out. And it's just, I can't put it back down, because it's not that, I constantly talk about my shit all the time. It's that when I do get a chance to talk about my shit, it's been the first chance I get in such a long time that I've just had so much pent up and bottled up that it's just pouring out like a fucking volcano. It's kind of like that thing about a little cup where someone's pouring an espresso into it and it's just overflowing, and it's like me talking about something I'm interested into, or my feelings or my thoughts, and it's overflowing anyone that will listen. And it's just, I don't want to annoy my friends, I don't want to bother people, and I don't want to complain, and I don't want to come across as a bitch or a pussy, and I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be like, I'm sad or depressed. No, I try my best in the real world to simply pretend I'm happy so that people can't tell that I'm sad. Because I don't want, I don't want to just start crying in front of people. I don't want to be, so I filter that stuff. I suppress those feelings so that the people around me can't tell that I'm sad. They can't tell that I constantly just want to scream or cry. That I just want to give up a lot of times. That a lot of times it's just, I'm so emotionally confused. I'm so frustrated. And a lot of times either I'm dealing with some sort of issue of PTSD, or anger, or severe paranoia, or just so much, sometimes I'll have so much anger, or I just want to cry. I feel so emotionally overwhelmed. I feel isolated. I feel alone. And I feel like that, that I have no way of seeing anyone. I have no way of having friends. I have no way of interacting with people. I feel completely alone and isolated. And also when it comes to women, I've been rejected a lot of times. And of course, I've had a lot of relationships that went bad. And granted, I've had some relationships that were good. I had one girlfriend that I was very, very happy with. And me and her were together for about half a year. And when it came to the end of that, me and her broke up. She said that I was too nice to her. Which is what it is. In the end, maybe she was just trying to, be nice to me, end it off. But at the same time, I was like, what? But she was always very nice to me. She was an amazing woman. She was beautiful, 10 out of 10. And I was extremely happy with her. Granted, she's moved on. She's married, has a few kids. And that's good for her. I don't talk to her or anything. But I'm glad that she's happy. But I'll say this. She was never wrong to me. She was never bad to me. She was never abusive to me. She was actually a loving, caring girlfriend. She was awesome, and I was super happy when I was with her. That being said, not all my girlfriends were as amazing as she was. I've had several people, including my ex-wife, that were just completely out of their fucking mind. And it's just, looking back, it's just, when you look back at things in hindsight, you're like, how the fuck did you miss those red flags? How did you not notice that stuff? And honestly, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, part of me chose to be willfully ignorant. Because I am such a sad, pathetic, lonely person that is desperate for somebody to love me, that I was willing to pretend I didn't see certain red flags that should have screamed at me to run the fuck away and never talk to that person. But I mean, it still worked out. I mean, I have my son, and he lived with me till shortly after he was 3 years old. And I've always done my best to be the absolute best father in the world I can to him. And I would read him stories, sing him songs, change his diaper, give him baths, feed him, play with him, take him to the park, read him stories, take him to see any family members that wanted to see him, as long as I didn't think they would try to hurt him or anything, because I always wanted to try to keep his safety first. I know when he was 2 years old and I had to take him to the hospital to, they had to do a surgery where they had to put tubes in his ears and take out his adenoids. I was absolutely terrified. I was completely terrified. And after he got done with that, he looked miserable. He looked so miserable. I slowly and carefully, gave him some apple juice because that's what the doctors suggested to give him. And then I gave him the medications that he needed. And, I just doted on him for a while. I know when he was first born, I took 2 weeks off work and I just took care of him and his mom. I mean, heck, even before he was born, I was singing lullabies to him inside his mom's womb and reading him stories. I put his crib together. I mean, I literally did everything I could. I mean, that early point, I mean, my life was, I went to work, and then when I wasn't at work, I spent time with my wife and my son. I did everything in my power to try to be the best father and husband in the world. I just wanted to do what was best for my son. I wanted him to be happy and healthy and safe. I wanted to protect him from anything that could ever hurt him. I wanted him to be happy. And I wanted him to know that he was loved and cared about, and that, that his dad loves him very much. Even before he was born, I was constantly telling him I loved him and I was proud of him. And while he was living with me, until, like I said, it was like a couple weeks after he turned 3, I was probably giving him close to 100 hugs every day, taking him to the park whenever I could, doing everything I could with him, and constantly reading to him, playing with him, and feeding him, and just made sure he went to all doctors. Anytime he had to get a shot or something, I was there to try to comfort him. And I probably told him I love you probably 1,000 times a day. I probably told him I was proud of him 100 times a day. And then, of course, after the divorce and all that stuff, I was still having him over, because he doesn't live with his mom. He lives with her parents. But that's due to a situation because of what happened with her. But he would still come over every other weekend and spend the weekend with me. And, he'd be able to have a blast. And granted, yes, I'd maybe spoiled him a little bit. I'd basically take him to McDonald's or wherever he wanted, take him to the park, the library, take him to see my parents. They have a play set back there with slides and stuff, and of course I'd take him to the park and play with him there. Though I know there's one day, like I made a jump of 1 foot. 1 foot! I sprained my ankle. I hit that ground, I went on my back. I'm like, ah! And he ran up to me and he's like, Dad? I'm like, I'm okay. And I stood up and, I kept playing with him, run around, but my leg hurt so fucking bad. And then, of course, by that night, my ankle was like 3 times swollen its normal size. Oh, I had to ice that thing so bad. It hurt. But it's just, I still face chat him and stuff, but right now, I work at a job where I'm around hundreds of people in a small factory, pretty much. The likelihood of me being exposed to COVID is so high that I agreed to my son not coming over so that he wouldn't, get COVID. Because at the end of the day, I just want to do what's ever best for him, and I don't want him to get sick. But at the same time, it's just, I'm not coping with it well. So much so that I'm talking to random people on the internet about it. Because I'm very upset and I'm very depressed. And on top of that, I got other stuff I'm constantly just fretting about. And And like I said, I mean, there's stuff with my parents, there's stuff with my sister. I mean, work can be frustrating, but I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for my job. It may be frustrating at times, but it pays the rent. I mean, heck, all the overtime I worked is why I was able to buy this computer. It's why I was able to get these games. It's why I can even consider the idea that maybe I could get VR. But also I'm kind of worried that, well, would that make migraines worse? Could it give me brain cancer? Like, I'm kind of worried about that. But I look forward when all the COVID stuff's done and he can start coming over again. I can take him to the park and do everything with him again. I just want him to know that he's loved and cared about. And I just want him to be happy and have everything the best he can in the world. I wanted to do everything I could to be the best dad in the whole world. And it constantly breaks my heart, just the way things turned out. But at this point, even if I could have him back over with me, he's happy where he's at. And I wouldn't want to do anything that would hurt him or make him sad. I just want him to be happy. And I just want what's best for him. But yeah, I haven't seen any of my friends in forever. The COVID stuff makes it where you can't really see or talk to people, and everyone's like so far isolated and social distanced and masked up and everything that it's just, I feel completely alone in this world right now. To the point that I feel like right now me talking to the fucking Doom Marine sitting on this portal is the closest thing I have to a friend. And while I would rather be alone than be with anyone that would be an abusive partner again, I'll say this. I do want a girlfriend. I'm lonely. I want someone to talk to. I want someone to care about me. I mean, like I said, that one girlfriend that broke up saying I was too nice to her, she was always nice to me. I just never saw a reason to be angry at her. I thought she was a 10 out of 10. I thought she was beautiful, and I was very happy with her. Me and her were constantly saying I love you back and forth. She was always nice to me. I can't complain about the relationship aside from how it ended. But I think she was just trying to be nice about it. But that being said, I still emotionally took that pretty hard. But, I just don't have a very high opinion of myself, how I look. I mean, I'm getting older, and no matter how much I try to build muscle, I don't seem to build any muscle. I seem to be getting more of a gut. I know I munch candy bars a lot, fast food, but a lot of times I feel like I have to just to keep working and doing my job. Because I feel like if I don't keep eating, I'll either show, outwardly to people that I'm angry and sad, and I'm trying my best to just pretend that I'm happy. And I also feel that if I don't constantly keep munching on stuff, that I just won't have the energy or the will to go on. I mean, it's better than doing drugs, right? I mean, it's better to have an addiction to fucking cheeseburgers than to crack, right? I mean, it's better to have a stuffed crust pizza and some Rocky Road ice cream. But like I said, I try to work out and stuff, but a lot of times I just keep injuring myself. I keep trying to lift things that are too heavy. And I feel like, the goals that I want, I can't do. But no matter what, I'm thankful for my life. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for my job. And I'm thankful for my life. And I'm thankful for all the experiences I've been able to have in my life. And I'm really thankful I can make these videos. I like making these recordings. And like I said, with the Binding of Isaac, the first playlist of all that stuff will just be 666 videos. If I get that far. I know, like I said, with the End of the Gungeon and Dead Cells, I said to go to 106. And instead you got 42 and 3. But the idea is this. If I do get 666 Binding of Isaac videos, I'll start a whole new playlist, and I'll call it Super Binding of Isaac Repentance. And I'll go 666 parts of that. And then if I get another playlist, it'll be Ascended Isaac Ultra Impossible. And then if I do a 666 videos of that, then I'll go on to the next one, which will be Double Ascended. Yes, it's a Krillin joke. Krillin from Dragon Ball Z. I still want to see Yamcha actually like do something. Right now you got the granola arc going on, which I'm kind of but I kind of want to see like Yamcha use Wolfang Fist against Frieza. Because technically Yamcha has not had a face-to-face encounter with Frieza outside of Dragon Ball FighterZ, the game. Speaking of which, I have been enjoying watching the SSJ4 Gogeta boss raid videos by Doya, Rhymestyle, and Syriax, and there's another guy that's part of that. Also, there's a guy that goes by Lythero. He's pretty cool too. Though he plays Android 16 a lot. So, then again, there's Kagi Films. His reactions are pretty hilarious. Oh, Nux Taku. He's pretty cool. What? I don't know where I'm going with this. What was I talking about? I'm not sure anymore. But, I don't know. I suppose I should end this video. I need to go to sleep. I've let this go on for way too long. This was just supposed to be me ranting about, don't buy a prototype off of Steam. It's a good game, but the version off of Steam can't play. And I'm too worried about messing with other stuff, whether it be a virus or certain settings, that I might brick my computer. And I'm enjoying doing these Let's Plays. And I'd rather not lose it. Because like I said, I feel it's kind of a cop-out to say I'm giving back to the YouTube community. Like, oh, I've enjoyed so many Let's Plays, and I want to give back something entertaining. Which, if somebody out there does find these entertaining, then that's awesome. I'm glad I can make somebody laugh. But mainly, the whole point of doing these videos is that I don't have to do a filter. My whole life, everywhere I go, I am the most polite person anyone's ever met. I am the most passive, polite, non-confrontational person, and everyone thinks I'm the most optimistic and happy person that they've ever met in their life. I mean, let's be clear, I'm talking to people, they think I'm the happiest person they ever met. All the while I'm thinking about slitting my damn throat. And I mean actually going full Marianne. Where she's like fucking cutting into her damn windpipe, which, looks painful as hell, but if I were cutting my own windpipe, I wouldn't be able to see myself do it, now would I? That being said, as much as I think about the shit, I would never, ever, ever actually hurt myself. I haven't actually ever hurt myself, and I haven't actually tried to kill myself. I think about it a lot, but maybe that's just so I can cry a little bit and feel a little bit endorphins from that and feel better. At the end of the day, it's just whatever we all can do to feel emotionally better. Heck, ASMR videos are pretty good. They kind of help me fall asleep sometimes. There's a lot of ASMR massage, where there's an actual channel like that. There's a dude called Dimitri who does with, hand movements and stuff, and there's all sorts of people that do just confirmation meditation stuff, all sorts of stuff. Granted, some people go weird directions with it, and some people go sexual directions with it, but while I am into hentai, I don't feel an ASMR should be about that. ASMR should be mainly just a way for people that are anxious and emotionally wound up to just chill out, and it just basically stop thinking about all the things that stress you out all the time. And I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but main thing is this. If I'm in public, I have a smile on. I'm smiling to people. I would never try to kill myself. I would never ever do that. It's just, I really do feel lonely and isolated. I feel like there's no hope for me ever getting a girlfriend again. I feel like there's no women out there. I'll still occasionally try to flirt with someone if I meet somebody, but it just, at this point, I've learned to expect rejection. And it's just, here lately, I feel like there's nobody out there, that I'm completely alone, and that's never going to change. And that there's no woman out there that's actually going to like me or find me attractive. And that any woman I talk to is just going to look at me and find me disgusting and repulsive. Or they could wind up being somebody that's going to be hurtful to me. And it's just, I don't want to get hurt like that again. And I don't want to get mistreated. At the same time, it feels like there's no people out there. You know, feel lonely and isolated. Just, I don't know. Like I said, whether some of these videos you guys get a laugh out of it, that's cool. Other videos, if it's something like this where I'm rambling on about this stuff, then maybe you guys can be like, hey, either you'll listen to me and realize you guys are normal, and at least by compared to me, you guys are perfectly fine, or if any of this stuff is actually hitting home with you guys and any of you out there can relate, then maybe the idea that you guys are not the only ones that feel that way, I hope it makes you feel better. I don't know how. I think that you're not alone, that there are other people that feel the same way. I don't know. Not sure how that's supposed to help, but I don't know. I just want everyone to be nice to each other. Hell, if I had the power to do it, I would try to be friends with everybody in the world. Then again, sometimes my emotional state shifts. I sometimes feel extremely lonely and just want a hug so bad. To other times, I feel extremely paranoid, that I hate and feel angry with everyone. Everything is disgusting. Every sound just makes me want to scream. And I just want to go in a dark room, turn all the lights off, have no sound, and just lay in my bed and sleep and never get up again. I just don't want anything to do with anyone or anything. I just want to shut down. And I want everyone to go away. And sometimes it even feels like it's an extreme form of paranoia, where I'm scared and terrified of everyone and everything. And it's almost the point of sometimes hyperventilating. And it's just, at least for these videos, I don't have to pretend I'm happy. I can be whatever the hell I feel. I don't have to be all, oh look, I'm all smiles and happy giggles and I'm perfectly happy, I'm never sad at all, and I don't have a single thought about how I'm depressed or nihilistic or I'm being an emo bitch about shit. I can just talk about whatever the hell I want. And it's a lot cheaper than therapy. I don't know. I need to stop this video, but main point is this. I enjoy making these videos, though most of these videos hopefully are not going to be like this. They're going to hopefully just be me playing a video game. But sometimes my mood and outlook on life tend to change, so sometimes the person you get tends to be a little different. But maybe that just adds to just how much fun I can have with the channel, and just that I can always approach things from a different direction, from a different angle, from a different alignment. And maybe that'll allow me to enjoy a video game more and provide a better commentary than I would normally be able to. Because as I normally am, I'm just a boring ass asshole, but that's the version of me that's constantly filtered, to where I only say the stuff that's, deemed politically acceptable when I'm in front of people. That, oh yeah, I'm happy, everything's cool, here's a smile, I'm not going to yell or be angry. Like I said, people at work, the people I work with, hell, at really mostly any job, I don't think they've really heard me get angry or cuss or go off on shit. But I know, like sometimes I was playing 20XX, or even in Enter Gungeon videos, I will just cuss and cuss and cuss and cuss. But you can't do that in public. You can't just go off and string a bunch of F-bombs. At least with this, I can just, I don't have to filter myself. I can just talk about whatever. And I do actually hope that there are people out there that I can talk to you guys and connect with you, and we can have conversations about stuff. But, but like I said, I do feel it's a bit of a cop-out to say I'm trying to get back to the YouTube community. Because, I'm doing it for everyone else. No. All actuality, the more I think about it, I'm doing it for myself. I record these videos for myself. This is for me. I enjoy doing it. So much so that sometimes when I get off work, I immediately want to do it first thing off work. Because I've been almost like I'm addicted to making these videos. You know, something I look forward to doing when I get home. You know, something to look forward to. And I enjoy it a lot. And I don't think I ever want to stop making these videos. Granted, I'm going to be a bit random with what I make sometimes, but I don't think I ever want to stop making these videos, ever. And it's just... I like making these videos. You know, it's a way for me to express myself. It's a way for me to just reach out to the YouTube community and become a part of it. Even if I am weird and boring and just, well, odd. Because like I said, I am Cthulhu. So, hopefully Cthulhu is welcome on YouTube. But if not, I'm sorry then, but, you know, Cthulhu is who you get, because that's who I am. But it's disappointing I couldn't play Prototype. I remember that being a very fun game, and I was looking forward to it. But I'm just glad I didn't wind up breaking my fucking computer. But at the same time, it's disappointing, but even if someone suggests in the comments do this or do that to make it work, just at this point, I'm never fucking with that game again. But, like I said, I will watch Freelance Astronauts play it. I mean, I've seen it probably 3 times before in the past. But I recommend you guys watch it too. And I do hope Tira Grace plays Brave Fencer Musashi for PlayStation 1. And Dragon Spear for the NES. And like I said, MXR plays, Taluli, The Click. They're very hilarious people to watch. Same with Nux Taku / his other channel, Nuxnor. But it's just... yeah, I'd say I mainly just do these videos for myself. I do it because this is... I don't know how to really explain it, but even just rambling like this, you know, I'm enjoying being able to talk to someone. So... yeah. It's just... I like making these videos. I like being able to record a video and upload it. And I like these games. Some are action, some are a bit chaotic, some are hard, some are visual novels, some are horror stories, or even like Resident Evil or The Letter. And then of course Isaac can be outright challenging, but the randomness of this and all the stuff that, I mean, it's a lot of fun. Even though I'm probably going to have horrible gameplay, and I'm going to do terribly and make dumb mistakes and make like no progress at it, playing The Binding of Isaac will be very fun. And I hope when I play that, it'll actually be enjoyable for people. But like I said, I can't say it's a cop-out to say I'm doing it to give back to the community after enjoying so many Let's Plays. I'm doing these videos for myself. I don't have to filter myself, and I can just be myself. I can express myself. It's a way for me to reach out into a world where I feel like I'm in a bubble and that there's no one else out there. That all the real people in the world aren't real anymore. And that I'm all alone, and like I said, I really do feel like... I don't know. Hopefully one day I'll be able to give you guys an update video saying I got a girlfriend or something. But I just don't feel hopeful about it, and a lot of times I feel like some days I feel like even if I had the option to have a girlfriend, I would probably say no, and I would just crawl out of my bed to go to sleep, and that there's no point to anything anymore. I've been alone for a long time, and I'm very isolated, and I don't really have anyone to talk to. And even if I could talk to any of my friends, I wouldn't talk to them about my feelings about this stuff. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to drive them away. Not that I've seen them in forever anyway. Not that I've seen really anyone for a long time now. I don't know where I was going. Main thing is this. Don't buy the game Prototype on Steam. It's a good game, but don't buy it from Steam. Just watch Freelance Astronauts play it. I gotta go to bed. I hope everyone out there had a good day. And I gotta find my mouse. Mouse. I'm not even gonna worry about... Okay, fine. I get it. I should fight the boss at least. With my terrible sling. Okay, miss. Oh! Oh, come off of it. Shit. Okay. But yeah, I hope everyone out there had a good day. And like I said, I really do enjoy making these videos. And I don't plan to ever stop. Hopefully I can actually build some muscle. I know I have a guitar and books on drawing. Hopefully I make some progress on that. And hopefully I can have some better luck when it comes to the women I try to flirt with, that maybe I might have some better luck with that. I am looking forward to the new videos from Tear of Grace. And there are two channels that I've been keeping an eye on. Gola Plays and Veins of Gaming. And Veins of Gaming actually has a series he does called GWAM, Games of Awesome Music. Mainly because those two seem to have been my very first 2 subscribers. And I mainly came across them because when I first started doing this stuff, I was, they were doing Brave Fence and Musashi, which is one of my favorite games growing up. So that's how I came to know them, and, I appreciate them being there at that start. Though I'm not sure how to look up who my actual subscribers are. Right now I have 3 subscribers, so I have a 3rd subscriber that's a mystery. I don't know who you are. So if you're the 3rd subscriber, who are you? And how do I click the thing that tells me who my subscribers are? Because I can't find that and I can't figure it out. But well, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But where was I going? The main point is this. I know I am a bit depressed about shit, and I talk about stuff, even some morbid, dark, suicidal jokes from time to time. And sometimes they're not exactly jokes. Sometimes they're me expressing how I actually feel. But just a disclaimer, for anyone out there in case you are worried, I would never ever hurt myself. I would never ever kill myself, and I would never ever harm anyone else. But being able to talk about my feelings about that stuff, particularly on the days that I feel, because most days I feel kind of average. Some days I feel completely numb, like I feel absolutely nothing, like I can't feel any sadness or happiness or anything. I just feel completely fucking numb. And other days I feel so extremely stressed and high-strung to where my arms won't stop shaking, and I feel like I'm having a panic attack all the time and my heart is racing. There's other times that I have bad days where either I feel extremely angry feelings in my mind where, like, or times I feel extremely paranoid and I feel like everyone hates me, everyone thinks I'm disgusting, everyone just wants me to go away, like everyone's sick of me being around, that I just bother everyone. I bother people by just being alive. And it's just, that feeling, that emotion, that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good at all. And it's sometimes I feel it very strongly. And there's sometimes I feel very, very upset about the things that have happened in my life. And it's just, being able to talk about it like this, being able to express myself about this stuff, particularly on the bad days. Not even particularly days where something bad happened, but days where just emotionally I just feel off. Where emotionally either I feel turned off or I feel emotionally like my whole perspective on life and on good and evil and just emotions and humanity and just who I am as a person is just completely skewered. And on those bad days, it's just, I feel so bad. And I know a lot of times the doctors try to suggest to me to take fucking antidepressants, but I know that any kind of chemical like that, it could always have unforeseen consequences. It could always interact a different way. And something that would have that strong of an effect on your person's mind, one, I'd be worried that it could have a strong negative effect and make it worse. And secondly, I don't want to be dependent on a chemical. Granted, I know I take supplements from like vitamin shops and, places like that. But at least that's stuff that's, it's cheaper and it's not as strong of an effect on you. My grandma, she died back when I was 13. And by the time she died, she was on like 20 different types of medications or something. I can't even remember. It's just doctors prescribed one medication to treat like an issue of a liver or something, and it did something else. So prescribed another medicine to deal with that, another medicine to deal with that. By the end of it, she was taking so many different medicines. She was basically blind, and her body was failing on her in every way pretty much possible. I know when she died, my mom was devastated and she was sad. And then, of course, I have two sisters, but one of them already died 10.5 years ago. And it's just, I don't know how to deal with a lot of things anymore. And it's just, I'm alone. I feel alone and isolated. I feel frustrated. And it's just, no matter what I'm feeling, no matter how sad I am, no matter how angry I am, I'm still polite to people. I'm still nice to people. I still do my best to try to be nice to everyone. And if someone looks like they're having a bad day, I try to cheer them up. I try my best to be a good person and to treat everyone with love and respect. But in general, almost every day I feel a bit down, and I feel alone, and I feel unloved, and I just feel like there's no one out there for me. Like I'm never going to actually have another girlfriend. That I'm just going to be alone for the rest of the time. And like I said, worries about my parents, my son, my sister, about extended family, about work, about everything going on in society. And it's just, especially the news, sometimes everything it bombards you with. It's just, and like I said, even if there's nothing going on wrong, some days emotionally I just feel I feel awful. I feel awful some days. But no matter what day I'm having, I enjoy making these videos. But on the bad days, I don't have to filter it. I don't have to bottle it up and just ignore those feelings. I can just be whatever emotion that I want at the time. Even if it's talking to myself, even if it's being just back and forth with myself sometimes. After all, I mean, a lot of the time, I have no one to talk to. I'm completely alone, so I have no one to talk to. But like I said, I enjoy making these videos, and no matter what kind of day I'm having, I want to make these videos. Even if everything's super hunky-dory in the future, I'm still going to want to make these videos. But on the bad days, even if there's nothing going on, even if there's no reason why I should be more sad on a particular day than another, on those bad days, I can just express that in the video. Just, even if it's unintentional, I don't have to hide how I feel. I don't have to filter it. I don't have to bottle it up. I can let that emotion out so I can feel better, so I can cope with it, so that I can go about the rest of my day and still be okay. Then again, same thing with Tear of Grace. I think a lot of you guys are out there like that. Because I know a lot of people constantly tell him in his videos on his Twitch and stuff that he cheers them up. And I feel the same. He makes me laugh. He's hilarious. And it's just his commentary is very funny to listen to. But I really should. I'm on the magic carpet, so we should call this a video. I'm sorry it drug on, but I'm just saying, I like making these videos. And I make these videos for me. So, I hope everyone out there had a good day. I should get some sleep. At least I should have this weekend off. Where's the mouse? 2 hours and 11 minutes, damn. I'm sorry it went so long, especially since most of it was just me sitting in a room, talking to a sprite. That being said, if you ever get the chance, there's a webcomic series called 8-Bit Theater. It's called Nuclear Power with a K, but 8-Bit Theater, it's a Final Fantasy I sprite, it's a comic. There's also Looking for Group, and Least I Could Do, and Bob and George. They're all very hilarious webcomics, and you guys should check them out. Bye.